Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 2:4:12 Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Sukha Uvacha. Namaha Parasmai Purushaya. Namaha Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Sat Udbhava Sthana Nirodha Nilaya Grahita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam Antarbhavayanuka Palakshya Antabhavaya Anupalakshya Vartmane. Shri Sukha Uvacha. Namaha Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase.
Namaha Parasmai Purushaya
Shri
Bhuyase.
Sukha Uvacha.
Shri Sukha
Namaha
Uvacha.
Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase.
Namaha Parasmai Purushaya
Yoda Leelaya
Sad Udbhavasthana Nirodha Leela
Shakti Tritayaya
Brihada Shakti Kridaya
Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam
Brihada Shakti Kridaya Dehinam
Antarbhavayan Patpalakshya Vartmane.
Andarbhavayanupalakshya Vartmane
Antarbhavayanupalakshya Vartmane.
Andarbhavayanupalakshya Vartmane. Sri Shuga Uvaja.
Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase.
Namaha Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase.
Bhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya
Tadudbhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya
Grahita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam
Brahida Shakti Hridayaya Dehinam Andarbhavayanupalakshya Vartmane.
Sri Sukha Uvacha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Namaha, offering obeisances, Parasmai, the Supreme, Purushaya, the personality of Godhead, Yashe, unto the complete whole, Sat Udbhava, the creation of the world, Sthana, its creation, Nirodha, and its winding up, Nilaya, and its pastimes of having accepted Shakti, Shakti, power, Tritayaya, three modes, Dehinam, of all who possesses material bodies, Antabhavaya, unto he who resides within, Anupalakshya, inconceivable, Vartmane, one who has such ways. Translation purported by His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Vijaya. Translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for the creation of the material world, accept the three modes of nature. He is complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. Please respond. Sukadeva Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for the creation of the material world, accepts the three modes of nature, is complete whole residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. Perfect. The material world is a manifestation of the three modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And the Supreme Lord, for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world, accept three predominating forms as Brahma, Vishnu, Shankara. As Vishnu, he enters into the every body materially created. As Garbhodagasai Vishnu, he enters into every universe. And Shirodagasai Vishnu, he enters the body of every living being. Lord Sri Krishna, being the origin of all Vishnu Tattvas, is addressed here as Parahapuman or Purushottama. As described in Bhagavad Gita 15:18, he is complete whole. The Purushavasaras are therefore his plenary expansions. Bhakti Yoga is the only process by which one can become competent to know him, because the empiric philosophers and mystic yogis cannot conceive of the personality Godhead. Is called Anupalakshavartmane, the Lord of inconceivable way, or Bhakti Yoga. Om Nam Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Sakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Svapitam Mena Swayambhuvara Dhamatya Tadakam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Hita Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrachadam Sagadagunatan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhudam Varijana Sagidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padhan Lalita Sri Vishakan Nutam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Ganta Radha Ganta Namostute Taptakanjana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavati Paschata Deshadarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Asadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We welcome everyone for this Saturday Bhagavatam discourse. Yeah, today we'll continue the second chapter, second canto, fourth chapter. So today the Sukadeva Goswami starts speaking. So Parikshit finished inquiry in yesterday's class. Last week, Prem Chaitanya Prabhu has given the class 2-4-11. Now we shall see 2-4-12. So here he is starting his explanation by offering obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is a proper etiquette. So before we start anything, we should always think of Krishna. That is spiritual life. Spiritual life means putting Krishna in center. Material life means putting ourselves in center. That is the point. So that is what we are. That's why the first word is saying Namaha. Namaha means not me. Na aha. Aha means I. Na means not. Namaha means not me. It means nothing is done based on my desire. Everything is done by you. That is actually the proper understanding of devotees. So when devotees, when they went through troubles in life, so they should always think that, like this is actually by the mercy of Krishna. Or when they get happiness, also they should think that way, it is all the mercy of Krishna. So just like a father chastises a son and the father gift a son, it is all same. And similarly, a devotee, he does not care about whether he is in happiness or sorrow. He just carry on his prescribed, his original duty of serving Krishna. That is why when Sukadeva Goswami was asked this question, he is starting this his explanation by offering obeisances. Namaha Parasmai. So Parasmai, Para means actually the Supreme Para. Purushaya Bhuyashe. So that is a most important thing. So we should always learn to connect everything with Krishna. That is spiritual life. Material life means we connect everything to ourselves. That is material life. I, aham, mama, iti. So material consciousness explained in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. We'll go to this fifth canto, 5th chapter, 8th verse. This is material consciousness. It is explained here. See, this is material consciousness. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of male and female, one becomes attracted to this body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life illusion and thinks in terms of I and mine. So this is material consciousness. So when you are in material consciousness, you start thinking that aham mama iti. Everything you relate to yourself, whether I am happy, whether I am distressed. That is what we always think this way. That's why, next sloka also Rishabhadev continues. When strong knot in the heart of a person implicated in material life due to the results of past actions slackened, one turns away from this attachment to home, wife, children. In this way, one gives up the basic principle of illusion, I and mine, and become liberated. See, the liberation means you should, first of all, you should cut the knot of thinking that I and mine. That is material consciousness. Thus, one goes to transcendental world. Then only we can go to material, spiritual world. So this is actually how materially afflicted person thinks. But another way, if you think how a devotee thinks, that is also explained in Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 15th chapter. Let me say this. Arjuna's last prayer. Here we can see this, how you see, this is actually when Arjuna saw that, when Arjuna learned that Krishna left this material world, of course, in his form, when he finished his Leela, he was so much in depression. He was not able to come out of that at all. He was not able to come out. So he's saying that, O king, as in the ocean, the bigger and stronger aquatic swallow up the smaller and weaker ones, or so also the Supreme Personal Godhead, to lighten the burden of earth, has engaged in stronger Yadu to kill the weaker and the bigger Yadu to kill the smaller. So the Krishna left the planet and all the Yadus are left the planet. So Arjuna was actually so much in depression mode, and he's not able to come out of it. So let us see, all of us go through this in life. Arjuna, how did he come out of the depression? That we have to understand. Here is explaining that Deshat Kalata Yuktani Krit Tapopasamani cha Haranti Smrtas Chittam Govinda Abhihitani me. You see here what he's saying? Now I am attracted to those instructions imparted to me by the personality of Godhead Govinda, because they are impregnated with instructions for relieving the burning heart in all circumstances of time and space. You see, this is the difference between devotee and non-devotee. The devotee, he tries to come out of his distress or balancing himself in happiness by this way. It means you always think of the instructions of the Lord. So whenever we, not whenever, in every second of your life, you should lead your life based on the instructions of the Lord. Whether you are in happiness, whether you are in distress condition, you should always think of what did Guru say, what did Shastra say, what did Sadhu say. That should be the mentality. So not that I decide on my own to enjoy the happiness or quench that, suffering, come out of suffering. It is not like that. See, Arjuna, he could not even come out. See, Krishna left the planet, it is not a normal thing. But even he was able to come out of that by thinking of Krishna's instruction. You see, now I am attracted to those instructions imparted to me by the personal Godhead, because they are impregnated with instructions for relieving the burning heart in all circumstances of time and space. So whenever we have, whether you are in happiness or distress, always think of Krishna or take his book or hear lectures. In this way, we should be connected. This is how we see. But there we saw materially conscious person, how we think, aham mama iti, everything related to myself, my idea, my speculation. That's what we also say in Bhagavad Gita, right? It's a famous verse. Prakritim kriyamanani gunaigarmani sa ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti mannide. That's also a very famous verse. This is a way the materialistic person thinks. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities which are inactually carried out by the nature. See? So things are automatically happening because of our karma. We are not doing anything. Automatically happens. We get happiness and distress. Automatic. But a rascal and fool, he thinks that, oh, because of him I am suffering. Because of her I am suffering. No. We suffer because of our own karma. Clear? This is how the karmi thinks. But a devotee, he thinks other way. He thinks of Krishna's instructions to come out of the distress or balance his happiness. Because happiness is more dangerous than distress. We all want to be happy, right? Actually, happiness is more dangerous. Because happiness will make you forget Krishna. Distress will think of you, Krishna. That is why you see here how Sukadeva Goswami starts. Namaha Parasmai. So he always, even though he is Bhagavan, he's a pure devotee of Lord. So a pure devotee is higher than Krishna. That is understanding. Sakshat Haridvena. Not only Sakshat, he is also higher than Krishna. Aradhanam Sarvesham, Ishura Aradhanam Param, Tasmat Parataram, Dadiyanam Samachara. Lord Shiva says, worship of Vaishnava is higher than Krishna. So he is pure devotee of Lord who is always carrying Krishna in his heart, but he is not getting puffed up of that and he is not ignoring glorification of the Lord. See, Namaha Parasmai is starting with that this way. Namaha Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyashe is starting this way. That we have to learn, we have to learn that. So that is why we always start our day by thinking of Krishna, end our day by thinking of Krishna, lead our day by thinking of Krishna. Dhyayam tuvam tasmai yasyasti sandhyam vande guru sri charanarvindam. Dhyayam tuvam. See, every day thrice you have to think of Guru at least. That is the Gayatri mantra. When we chant Gayatri mantra, we think of the spiritual master. Sandhya. So that is why the whole thing is about how you relate your life with Krishna and the spiritual master. That is that credit. That is what actually Prabhupada said, that so many people glorifying me that I achieved so many things, but actually I have done nothing. If at all you want to give me credit, you can give me for only one thing, that I have never changed the instruction given by my spiritual master. That is that real credit. He never changed anything what is told by coming from the parampara. Respect the instruction of Krishna. Respect Krishna. That is why Sukadeva Goswami says, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for the creation of material world, accept the three modes of nature. He is complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. Actually, the Lord does not need to take this material world. See here actually it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse number 22. You can see here. Name. Somebody want to read this? Everybody want to read this? Volunteer? Anybody want to read?
I can read it.
Yes, bro.
O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I made to
obtain anything. And yet I am engaged in work. See, that's what Krishna says. So Krishna says that he has no work. There is nothing, because Krishna does not want to do anything except spending time with his devotees. That is why he expanded himself as Baladeva, Sankrishna, and then Narayana, and then Garbhodaga, Shirodaga, all Vishnus. Why? Because he don't want to engage in this. He is in Goloka Vrindavan simply dancing with his devotees. He's serving, he's busy serving Nanda Maharaj and he is busy taking service from those devotees who are in Dasya Rasa, and he is playing with his friends who are in Sakya Rasa, and also he is spending his nice time with those devotees who are in Madhurya Rasa. That is the job of Krishna. That is why he has a flute, but Krishna has no weapons in his hand, no weapons. So that is Vasudeva. Vasudeva is only carrying the club and chakra and all. That is a Vasudeva feature of Krishna. Actual feature of Krishna we see in Vrindavan. He has no weapons. He has no weapon. So that is the thing we have to understand, that Krishna has no duty in this three planetary system. He has nothing to do. He doesn't need anything here. See, we all are working. Why we are working? To earn money and then take care of family, to eat, to sleep. But Krishna does not need anything, no. Why he need? Actually, he doesn't need anything. That is what he is saying, that actually I have nothing to do in this world. And again says, for if I did not engage in work, O Partha, suddenly all men would follow my path. So that's why Krishna does. So he is engaging duty to show us the way. You also work, to show us. If I should cease to work, then all these men, all these worlds would be put into ruination. I would also be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would therefore destroy the peace of all sentient being. So that's why Krishna works. When he creates this world, he appears here, accepting the three modes of material nature. Right? Actually, he is beyond that. You see here, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse number 13. It's the same as verse. Lord is saying, Chaturvarnam Maya system. Gunagarva Vivahasaha Tasya Kartaram Apima Vidhi Akartaram Avyayam. According to three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society were created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet non-doer and being unchangeable. So Krishna created the system based on the three modes of material nature. But actually he is Abhyayam. His Akartara means what? He is not a doer. He is not doing anything here. Even though he is in this world, he is just to govern things. He has accepted the three modes of material nature, but why he accepted? Prabhupada says, the material world is the manifestation of three modes of material. Three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. That is the characteristics of Prakriti. See, Krishna has two Prakriti, Paraprakriti, Aparaprakriti. Paraprakriti means his spiritual potency. Aparaprakriti means his material potency. Here, Paraprakriti is Radha. Aparaprakriti is Durga. It's all Krishna's energy. Chaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga. So, it's just a shadow of Krishna. So, whatever you see as Lakshmi or Radha, a reflection is actually Durga. So, they are not different. They are not different. Prabhupada actually explains this way. Air condition. Air condition, AC can be used either as a heater or as a cooler. You can use it to increase that to warm up the place or cool down the place. Both way you can use inverters. Right? Suppose the temperature is very low, then you can increase the heat temperature, then you feel warm. Outside is very hot, then you can reduce and you can make it feel cool. So it is all the Maya, actually the Prakriti works different for different kind of person. That's why the same Prakriti is acting as Apara for somebody and Para for somebody. That is why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what is it verse? Atma. What is it verse? That Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Devim Prakriti Mashrita. This is 8:16, right? Bhagavad Gita. Is it 8:16? Or 9th chapter, 9:13. 9:13. Yeah, 9:13. Correct. 9:13. Yeah. Mahatmanastu mam parata devim prakritim ashitaha bhajanti ananya manaso gyantva bhudadim abhyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, or under the protection of the divine nature, they are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the supreme personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So only the immature devotees, they see difference between Yogamaya and Mahamaya. It's actually same Maya. Same Maya is acting as Yogamaya for somebody and Mahamaya for somebody else. So Krishna is beyond that three modes of material nature. That's why even though he appears in this universe, he does not actually accept the gunas. He does not accept the gunas. That's not possible. That's why he's Lord. That's why he's Lord. That's actually another example is there. I will show you that. This is from Bhagavatam. When Ashwatthama throw that, what is that? Brahmastra. I'll show that. That's very nice. Yeah. You see, this is very nice explanation. It is from Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, Bhagavatam 1:7-33. You all know, right, that Ashwatthama, he threw the Brahmastra over the Uttara's womb. So Arjuna got so much angry. Krishna also got angry. Both of them got angry. But how they got angry, it is explained here. 1:7-33. A nice way of putting, he's saying, Sutta Goswami, he's saying that Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger like two red balls of copper, dexterously arrested the son of Gautami and bound him with ropes like an animal. So he got so much angry and his eyes become what? Tamra Akshasa. Tamra. Tamra also we say. Tamiram. Tamra. Tamra means copper. Copper is actually it will get good extreme temperature. So that's why he got so much angry that eyes was actually blazing. It was like a copper red eyes. And Krishna was standing next to him, right? How he was? He also got angry. After binding Ashwatthama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp. The supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, looking on with his lotus eyes, spoke to angry Arjuna. Krishna also angry, but he was actually having what? Lotus eyes. Ambuja. You see the word? Ambuja ikshanaha. That is the difference. Even though he is angry, but still his eyes are like lotus, cooling effect. How? Because he's not bound by this anger, or hunger, nothing. He's beyond that. He's beyond. That's why he's actually paraha. That's why he's a parasmai. He's actually Sukadeva Goswami is starting what? Parasmai. He's starting this way. Parasmai is supreme. He's beyond all this. He's beyond all this. He's beyond all this. So you should understand that Krishna, even though he appears in this material universe, but he is not actually affected by the three modes of material nature, but still he accepts it. Still he accepts it. That's what we see. For our good. That's what we saw. We saw that chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we saw. For ourselves, for our benefit, he is accepted this. To help us, because he created the world. He has to supervise things. No, we cannot just, suppose you create something, you appoint supervisor, right? You appoint the manager, right? You appoint the workers, right? So just like that, Krishna created this material world, then he has to come here. Then he wanted to create. Creation is easy job. Creation is a easy job. It's not a big deal. You just give formulas, any rascal can create. As long as you give a formula, just like the car, we always say that car is invented by Ford. No, but now there are so many companies. Maruti is there, and then we have different companies. Why we only say Ford? Because the first one who gave the formula, he is glorious. Not actually for everybody. You know. Once you get the formula, any rascal can create. It is not a big deal. That's why Krishna chose a Jivatma to do the job. He just do the job, Brahma. But destruction is little dangerous. That is little responsible job. That is why he has taken it. He himself has taken it in his Sambhu form. And Sambhu is also Lord Shri Krishna. But little different. That's what actually it is explained, right? In Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita is not an original book. We have to go to Brahma Samhita. Yeah, you all know this verse. You know, it is not something new. Kshiram Yatha the Vikhar. You know the sloka, right? The sloka. I showed here from Brahma Samhita. Yeah. That is sloka number 45, if I'm not wrong. (46), 45, correct. 45. Kshiram yadhadati vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahi dada pridahasti hetu yasambudam abhidada samubaiti karyat govindamadi purusham damaham bhajami. So he is Govinda. Just as milk is transformed into curd by actions of acid, but yet the effect of curd is neither the same as nor different from its cause, that is milk. So I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom the state of Sambhu is a transformation of a performance of work of destruction. So Sambhu is Krishna. That's why we always say that, you know, Tamil also we say that Hari and Hara is same. They are not different person. But he transformed himself as Sambhu. Why? For the performance of destruction. If you want to destroy, you should go to modes. Right? If you want to destroy, you should get anger. If you want to create, then you have to get tempted. So, I mean, Krishna does not go into this. That's why in Rajasuya Yajna, Bhishma said that he is the actual brahmachari. Even though he is with 16,000 wives and so many gopis, none of them can induce him or agitate him. Nobody can agitate him. That is actually is not. That's why that is the reason he was able to run away from the battlefield. Normally Kshatriya will not do this. When he was fighting with Jarasandha, he said, no, I don't want to waste my time, because Jarasandha is going to be killed by Bhima. When I am not going to kill Jarasandha, why I should waste my time here? I mean, the common sense, no? I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to kill him, because that is the fate of Jarasandha, that he has to be killed by Bhima. And simply the fight is going to simply destroy the soldiers. Krishna thought this way. Krishna thought that simply this guy is coming again and again, and then we are chasing him back. Then he bring another big battalion, and we were destroying again. But so many soldiers are dying this way. But I cannot kill him also, because that is the fate of Jarasandha. He should be killed by Bhima. Then he thought, why I should waste my time here? Let me go to Dwaraka. He left. Normally, no Kshatriya do that, no? That's why he's called as Ranchor. He ran away from battlefield. And Jarasandha criticized him. Later, actually, when Arjuna, Bhima, and Krishna, they all went to the disguise of Brahmana to beg, fight from Jarasandha. They wanted to fight with Jarasandha and kill him. Jarasandha criticized Krishna. Oh, you are actually a coward. No? You ran away from battlefield. I cannot fight with coward people. Criticized. But we devotees glorify that. He is Ranchor. We have a temple also. Ranchor. Is near, it's actually in Gujarat. Near Ahmedabad, that area it is there. Ranchor temple. So he is beyond that. He is beyond happy or distress or fame or defame. He is beyond that. That's why we say Nirguna. Harihi Nirguna. He is beyond these three modes of material nature. So if we have to destroy, then you have to go to modes. You have to have, you have to go to three modes. That's why he transformed himself as Sambhu for the purpose of creation and destruction. Sambhu is not just destruction, he also creates. Just like when Mahavishnu wanted to create, he glanced over Shiva. Then Shiva combined with Parvati and then creates. This Sambhu we see here is not that Sambhu, but expansion of that Sambhu for this universe. That's why Sukadeva Goswami is saying here, the material world is a manifestation of three modes, goodness, passion and ignorance, and the Supreme Lord for the creation, maintenance and destruction of material world, who accept the predominating form as Brahma, Vishnu, Shankara. So the Lord takes the role of Shankara. Shankara means the one who destroys. The actual meaning of Shankara means the one who destroys. That's why the word is Shankara, Prabhupada using here. It is a responsible job. You cannot just destroy everything as you like, Some responsibility must be there in destruction. That's why he doesn't want to give that to a Jivatma. He himself take it, but in a Shankara form. But maintenance, wow, that is the most difficult thing. You can create something, you can also destroy the thing, but maintenance, that requires. For that, you should be beyond the three modes of material nature. That is not possible. Actually, Lord Shiva is called as Tamasi. Tamasi means actually he gets so much anger. Tamas means ignorance. That's why he is called as Tamasi, because he gets anger. Because anger only is able to destroy things. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna is not like that. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 30. Samoham Sarvabhudeshu. What's the verse? 31. What is the verse? Samoham Sarvabhudeshu. Here only, 9th chapter. Yeah, 9:29. Krishna is saying that Samoham Sarvabhudeshu Name Dvesho Asti Na Priyaha Ye Bhajanti Tu Mam Bhaktya Mai Te Teshu Chapyaham. I envy none, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So that is Krishna. To maintain things, you should have this magnanimity. Even if you hate Krishna, Krishna is going to give you yoga kshemam. You want food and shelter, Krishna is giving. If someone says Krishna is rascal, but Krishna will give opulence for it. How it is possible? That's why you say, I am equal to all. Name desho asti na priyaha. Nobody is dear to me, nobody is enemy to me. I have no enemy, no friend. This is the qualification required for someone who is maintaining. Someone who is maintaining, he cannot be partial. If you are partial, then you are not qualified to maintain things. You cannot maintain things by being partial. That's why even the king is called as Naradeva, because he has to maintain. Lokapalanam. Palan means maintaining. Because he is doing the job of maintenance, he is actually called as Nradeva. Drupadi is called like that. So he's actually man, God in the form of man. He is king because he is doing the job of Krishna, maintenance. Maintenance that is not possible by Jivatma or not even by Shankara, because he is Tamasi. He gets angry sometimes. That's why he's called as Asutosha. Lord Shiva is called as Asutosha. In his Lord Shiva form, he is granting benediction very easily, and also curse you also very easily. That kind of person cannot manage. Anyone who is afflicted by emotions, he cannot manage. Manage means I'm talking about maintenance. You cannot maintain things. Maintenance is management, right? You cannot. That's why he doesn't want to give that. No, he does not want even Shankar to do that. He himself does it. Harihi Nirgunai Saksha. He is not afflicted by three modes of material nature. Just like this Bhrigu Muni wanted to test who is the supreme person. So there was some yajna was going on, that all the munis, what is Muni? Muni means speculator. The Muni means who is speculating. He is Muni. Muni always speculate. I am right, you are right, because they are always in the path of Arohabadda. Arohabadda means upward process. They don't consult Shastras. They try to understand God by themselves. Arohabadda. That is Muni. The Munis were discussing who can be God. Someone wanted to offer the result to Shiva. Someone wanted to, result means yajna result. They are going to perform some yajna. They are thinking, whom shall we offer the result to? Shall we offer to Brahma? Shall we offer to Shiva? Shall we offer to Vishnu? So some of them were quoting Shastras, and then they are saying that, no, see here, it is mentioned Shiva. And some of them say Brahma, and somebody say Indra, and somebody say Vishnu. All of them say different things. The majority of them were saying Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu. So they escalated this issue to Bhrigu Muni. Bhrigu came there. They asked to Bhrigu Muni, Bhrigu Muni, can you please tell who is supreme person? We want to offer the yajna results. Bhrigu said, I also don't know. I said, don't know. Even Bhrigu, such a greatest person, he can even go to Vaikuntha. Who can go to Vaikuntha? Who can go to Kailash? At least Brahmaloka, yeah, he can go, but going to Kailash is not easy thing. And going to Vaikuntha is nearly impossible. Bhrigu was able to go to Vaikuntha also. But still, he was not sure who is God. That is why we see in Brahma Samhita, Vedeshu Durlabam Madurlabam Atma Bhaktau. So, it is not possible by understanding Vedas who is God. How to understand Atma Bhaktau? Only by devotion we can understand. What is this verse? Brahma Samhita. Anybody knows the number? 33. Advaitamachutam Manadir Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam Cha Vede Shudurlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Damaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to Vedas, but attainable by pure unalloyed devotion to soul. Devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and eternal Purusha, yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. Navayavvanam cha. So even actually Vedavadis, those who are expert in Vedas, have no access to Krishna, inaccessible to Vedas, but obtainable by unalloyed devotion to the devotion of the soul, a person, right? You put the soul, but actually a person. It means you can understand Krishna only by devotion. Adurlavam Atma Bhaktau. Govinda Adi Purusha Tamaham Pachami. Saying like that. So the Bhrigu was not sure who is God. So he wanted to test. So how he test? Harihi Nirgunat Sakshat. He thought of this. The God must be beyond the modes of material nature. He should not be affected by either Sattva, Raja, Tamoguna. That is his conclusion about God. Right? God must be beyond the three gunas, right? If he is within guna, how he can be God? That is his way of testing. That's what, based on that, he wanted to test who is God. So first he went to Brahmaloka. Brahma is Jivatma. Test is less. That you understand. Somebody asked a question yesterday also. Why the devotees get more test? We get more tests, more challenges devotees face. The challenges all make you strong. If you want to go to Krishna, it's not an easy thing. So the more you hire, the more you spiritually elevate yourself, then more challenge waiting for you. But however hard challenge it may be, by holding Krishna, you can easily cross. But the test is whether you hold Krishna or not. That's a test. Krishna will give you big trials, big problems he will give you in your spiritual life. And he will also be with you, right? To help you. But his test is whether you turn towards him or not. That is his test. I mean, I'm going out of topic, but it's an important point. So I'll come back here after explaining this. Yesterday I was showing also this. See Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, verse number 22. The purport it is mentioned. The two birds are. See here. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagno. Anishaya sochati muhyamanaha. Jushtam yada pasyati anyam ishamasya. Mahimanam iti vita sokaha. See, although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of fruits of the tree. See, the soul who's the enjoyer is always in anxiety and stress because we want to enjoy, right? Yeah, we want to enjoy. There's nothing wrong with it. Enjoying is the quality of soul. Nothing wrong in enjoying, but we should not enjoy the fruit. We should enjoy with Krishna. But if some way or other he turns his face to his friend, who is the Lord and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird become free from all anxieties. That is the clue. The Jivatmas here, we suffer. Day and night we suffer. But Krishna is going to protect you. There is no doubt about it. But the test is whether you are going to solve it with your mental speculation or you are going to solve it with Krishna's instruction. That is a test Krishna is putting on you. The purpose of Krishna's test is to see whether you are depending on him or not. Whether you're depending on him or you try to go with the speculation or you leave this. That is Krishna's test. Anyway, we'll come back here. So, Brahma is Jivatma, so he did not put a difficult test for him. He simply agitated him by mind. Brahma is his father. Bhrugu's father is Brahma. So he went to Brahmaloka, he did not pay obeisances to him. That is etiquette. When the son sees the father, he should fall at his feet and pay obeisances. That is etiquette. When someone sees elderly person, should pay obeisances. And they should not think, bro, I am devotee, my father non-devotee, how I can touch his feet? Should not think this way. You cannot think this way. Somebody asked a question, Prabhu, how can I touch my father's feet? He is not a devotee. I am devotee. The moment you think you are a devotee, you are a rascal. A devotee does not think he is a devotee. The etiquette is you go and touch the feet of elderly people. But he did not do that, purposely. He knows that, but he did not do this. Then Brahma got angry. Then he started shouting at him, hey, you are rascal. How you insult me like this? You come to my place. Then he said, sorry, father, you are not God. The God cannot get, he cannot get angry for the small thing. How he can be God? I just tested you, you are not God. I'm sorry. He left the place. Then he went to Kailash. Lord Shiva is not Jivatma, he is higher. Even though Lord Shiva appears to be coming from Brahma, Lord Shiva is Sakshat Hari. So the test is little higher. He tested him by words. He started talking all ill things about Lord Shiva. He was saying that, oh, he's claiming himself to be a great personality, Mahadeva, but he has no house. He's living in the crematorium. He apply all the ash in the body. And just like a barbarian, he is letting all the snakes crawl his body. What kind of person he is? How he can be Mahadeva? So he was started criticizing him like anything. Lord Shiva was patient. He was patient for some time. But after that, he's tamasi. He's not able to control his anger. He took his student, Trishula, and he was running after Bhrigu. I'm going to kill you now. And he said, I'm sorry, sir. I just tested whether you are God, you are not God. You cannot get anger like this. You cannot be God. Then he went to Vaikuntha to test whether he is God. There he is in his Yoga Nidra. He was just closing his eyes and lying on Anantasesha. Lakshmi ji was massaging his feet. So there Bhrigu went and then he tested him by action. You see, Brahma was tested by mind. That is okay. Shiva was agitated by words. That is a little difficult. But Vishnu, he direct action. No words, no action, nothing. He just opened the door. Of course, the door got opened. The moment door got opened, he directly went and gave a nice kick on Vishnu's chest. Nice kick. He gave on the left side. He gave nice left side of Vishnu. Nice kick he gave. And Vishnu woke up and immediately held the feet of Bhrigu. Said, I'm sorry, you hit my chest. My chest is very hard like a rock. Your leg is paining? He asked. He asked him, your leg is paining? It's like a mountain. Why did you hit it? Your leg must be paining now. Then he said, yeah, you are God. Whether you are irritated or disturbed, or you are glorified, you are actually same. You are not changed. You should be God. Yeah, but the devotee cannot take the offense, right? Lord will be, that's why Acharya says, Dvesha Krishna Dveshi Jane. Krodha Krishna Dveshi Jane. So you should use your anger only when other devotees are insulted. Or Krishna is insulted, not like, Prabhu, I got insulted, Prabhu, I got insulted, he insulted me. No, that is not actually a Vaishnava behavior. Anger is to be used when Krishna is blasphemed or other devotees are blasphemed. Lakshmi was not quiet. Then she immediately cursed Bhrigu, let all Brahmins be paupers. Let all you Brahmins be poor people. You Brahmana, you kick my husband. Now I am cursing that all you Brahmanas will be poor always. From then only, all the Brahmanas became poor. That is actually a benediction. It is not a curse. That is Krishna's blessings. Bhogeshwari Prashaktanam Taya Pakrutetasam. The moment you get money, then you cannot think of Krishna. That is actually a benediction. That is what we are saying in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 44 or 45. Around that. Yeah, 44. In the mind of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to Supreme Lord does not take place. Samadhau na vidiyate. You cannot come to peace of mind. You cannot come to a stable position. Vivasayatmika bhukti. Cannot come. That is why you should not get so much money. The devotees are not given so much money by the Lord. Yeah, but he will give the money for someone who is qualified. Not everybody. Immature devotees, initial stage devotees, Krishna does not give money. Krishna gives Lakshmi for only someone who used the Lakshmi in Krishna's service. If you're going to put all Lakshmi in your pocket, Krishna will make you poor guy. The secret of being rich is you give your wealth in the service of Krishna. You give lakhs and lakhs of rupees you give for preaching. You will get crores and crores of rupees. Then you will start giving crores and crores for Krishna. That is the secret of being rich. different topic. What we see here is he tested. So that is why this maintenance is not, it is not possible even by Lord Shiva. That's why all the demons, they pray to either Brahma or Shiva. Is there any history that any demon pray to Vishnu except one demon, Vritasura? Yes, Vritasura is Vishnu devotee. But what is the glory of Vritasura? He was giving instruction for Indra. It is very nice chapter from Bhagavatam. You can see Vritasura prays. Vritasura will be, he is a demon and he will be giving instruction to Indra. All philosophy, just like a Bhagavatam class. Even a devotee, even a demon, if you become a devotee of the Lord, he become higher than Devata, Suragana. Yasyasti Bhuktir Bhagavati Akinchana. Right? That's all. That's why maintenance he keep himself. I don't want to give to anybody else. Let me keep it. Let me keep it with me. That's why Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna was keeping the maintenance job with him. Let us go back to today's sloka. So likewise, the Lord accepted the three modes of material nature. There are different kind of avatars, right? Different kind of incarnations of the Lord. Manvantara avatar, that is Manu, is avatar of God. Leela avatar. Leela avatar means the Lord will come to perform his Leela and go back. That's it. There is no appearance, disappearance, no such thing. Right? I mean, appearance means appearance in the form of birth. Appear in the form of birth, just like Rama. Krishna, they born. I mean, appears to be they born. And then appears to be they left the planet. But when you see Narasimha, Varaha, nothing like that. Whenever they want to do some Leela, they come. After performing Leela, they go. Matsya avatar, Leela avatar. Narasimha, Leela avatar. Varaha, Leela avatar. But Vamana, Ram, Krishna, it is different. They took birth and then they grow. Then there is something called Shakti Avesh avatar. Shakti Avesh avatar means the Jivatma is empowered to do a big task. That is just like Vyasadeva, even Prabhupada. They were empowered. Just like the writing ability of Vyasa and Srila Prabhupada, actually it is unparalleled. Almost same. If you see how much Prabhupada has written in his short span of time, nobody can write like this. Nobody can speak like this. The volumes of classes, the volumes of literatures he has given. It is unparalleled to Vyasadeva. So Vyasa is actually Shakti Avesh avatar of Lord. And similarly, there is something called Guna Avatara. Guna Avatara means the Lord is taking different gunas. In Sattva Guna, he is taking a form of Brahma. In Rajo Guna, he is taking a form of Shankara. As in charge of Tamo Guna, Sattva Guna, Sattva Guna, he takes a form of Vishnu. And Rajo Guna, he takes a form of Brahma. In Tama Guna, he takes a form of Shankara. For creating, for annihilating, for maintaining. The three things. Yeah? It's like the Mahavishnu. Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, right? Mahavishnu. Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, he enters into each and every planet. Every universe, not planet, every universe. In the form of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And he is the soul of the universe. Just like a soul of the universe. Right? Without the soul, the body has no value. And similarly, without Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, the universe is useless. Just matter. Only Mahat Tattva. Or what I can do with this. Just like I'm talking to you using this Zoom software. But if my hard disk and like a CPU, memory, a monitor are not connected, speaker not connected, mic not connected, it is all separate. But I have the item. But there should be a person who can connect all these, link all these, use all these. That is Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. The matters were sent by Karnodaka Sai Vishnu in the form of Mahat Tattva, the 24 elements, but they should be created, na? Assembled together. For that purpose, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu was sent to this universe. And he created Padmanabha. I mean, he created, he is Padmanabha, he created Brahma from his Padma. Nabha. So Nabi means actually that the belly, and Padma means lotus. The lotus come from his navel, he created Brahma. And he told Brahma how to create. Tene Brahma Hadi Kavaye. So initially it was told by Brahma. He told him how to create. Right. And after that, he created. He created. So for creation also requires some power, no? That is Gunavatara. He himself become Brahma, but empowered, but not exactly God, no? That's why it's called as three Murtis, Brahma. And his Sampu expansion, he became Shankara. And in his own expansion, he became what? Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. And he is actually his creator. That's what we are seeing here in today's verse. And also Prabhupada is saying that Lord Sri Krishna, the beginning of origin of all Vishnutattvas, is addressed as Paraha Puman. Puman means a human. Paraha means a supreme human. Purushottama. Purushottama means there are two kinds of people. One is Purushottama, and one is Purusha Adhama. Adhama means a low class rascal. Purushottama means the highest of human. The Purushavataras are therefore his plenary expansions. Bhakti Yoga is the only process by which one can become competent to know him. Yeah. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Bhaktyam abhijanati. Only with bhakti you can understand God as he is. Right? Okay, I finish my session today. Let me go to chat if any questions. Yeah, wait. I'll see this chat first. As we should have served Krishna and Dasarada, how to convince others who say we are serving Vatsalya, also we can have a relationship with Krishna. Okay, there is a question from Pavitra Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhu, as we should serve Krishna in Dasarasa, how to conceive others, how to convince others who say they are serving in Vatsalya Rasa. Also, we can have any relationship with Krishna. Yes, good question. Let us go to Nectar of Devotion. Anybody knows where is this? Adav Shraddha? Someone can help? Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse number 10, purport. So there are different stages of bhakti. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says, Adav Shraddha, Tatav Sadhu Sangha, Atha Bhajana Kriya, Tato Anatta Nivritti Syat, Tata Nishtaha Ruchistata, Athasakti Tato Bhavas, Tata Prema Yudachati, Sadhakanam, Ayam Premnaha, Pradurbhave Bhavet Krama. This is Sadhaka. Sadhaka means the one who is practicing. So we are all trying to become devotees, right? So we are all called as sadhaka. Huh? In the beginning, one must have preliminary desire for self-realization. That is the first step. First step means you should have some faith. Once you have faith in Krishna, then Krishna sends a pure devotee. Here, sadhu means a pure devotee. Yeah, the devotee is also sadhus, but they are assisting the main sadhu. That is understanding. So some people think that, there is a Ritvik, especially Ritvik movement, many devotees think that, oh, only Prabhupada is pure devotee, all rascals. And in ISKCON Guru camp, they think rascals as Guru. both are extremes. But actual understanding is, whenever you say sadhu sangha, sadhu is a pure devotee. The pure devotee consists of other devotees also, just like Krishna consists of other devotees. Krishna means, Prabhupada says, Krishna means not only Krishna, but also his devotees. And similarly, Prabhupada is not alone. Prabhupada means his movement. There is temple president, and there is vice president, there is temple commander, there is a cook kitchen in charge, there is deity in charge, there is actually someone who is in charge of sweeping, mopping, all are Prabhupada. Expansion, inclusive. So if you don't follow if you don't respect the system, you don't respect Prabhupada. So the sadhu sangha means we are associating with pure devotee through the connection of other devotees. It is a proper understanding. You can neither see them equal to Prabhupada, nor you see them actually ignore them. It's not the way. So sadhu sangha means you associate with Prabhupada directly and indirectly. Pure devotee. And then what did the sadhu sangha help? A sadhu will give you bhajana, service. Once you go to Guru, he does not say, okay, now you take diksha and sleep. No, he doesn't say like that. He will give you a service. You distribute my books, you translate this, you cook, you dress. That's why we sing in the morning, right? Shringaradan Mandira Marjunadav. The Guru is giving service, bhajana kriya. Once you do bhajana kriya, anartha is going away from the heart. Anartha and everything. Dirty things goes away. What is dirty things? I and mine is dirty things. I want to enjoy. I want to enjoy this for my pleasure. That is anartha. After anartha goes away only, we are going to nishtha. Nishtha means fixed up. Otherwise, until dirty things goes away from the heart, your bhakti is always actually flickering. Sometimes you are good, sometimes you are bad. Some devotees will say, Prabhu, now my bhakti is going well. But actually, after some time, finish. 1 month before it was nice, Prabhu. Now it is not. Now my bhakti is not like before. Because you still have anartha in the heart. For clearing this anartha, you have to go to the previous step, do bhajana properly. If you want to do bhajana properly, bhajana means service, not only singing. If you want to do bhajana properly, then you associate with sadhus properly. If you're not associating with sadhus, then you read the books and get your shraddha fixed up, faith. Prabhu, I'm not sure whether Krishna is God or not. I'm not sure whether Prabhupada can take me back to Godhead or not. It means you're still here. Shraddha is not good. If you clear that stage, then you have no problem in associating Prabhupada devotees or Sangha. And after that, engage in bhajana. Anartha goes away. Then you come to nishtha platform, fixed up platform. Then only you get ruchi, some taste. Until then, you hate your service. Oh, every day I only cook. Why I only cook? What others are doing? Why? In temple we see this. Why I only cook? Why I do more service? I am seeing he is doing less service. I am doing more service. Because you have no ruchi for service. Why no ruchi? Because you are not nishtha. Why no nishtha? Because you are still dirty thing in the heart. And after ruchi, then you get asakti, means attachment for Krishna. After attachment means you will not leave Krishna, just like your child. You will not leave your child at any time, right? You always hold your child. We always will take all inconveniences to pacify to keep the child happy, or husband or wife happy, or friend happy, father, mother happy, right? The moment attachment is there, you will take all problems just to satisfy that person. And similarly, you will start taking all difficulties to please the Lord. There is asakti. Then only we go to the stage bhava. That is, the bhava is not something cheap. Oh, we are in a dasi rasa, he is in vatsalya rasa. No, it is not like that. It is natural growth. It is natural growth. It is actually not a mature discussion. Somebody will say like that. See, you are in Dasya, we are in Sringara. Actually, it is not like that. It is not that Gaudiya Vaishnavas are in Vatsalya Rasa, Sringara Rasa, and those who are following Vallabhacharya, they are in Vatsalya Rasa. The Shri Vaishnavas, they are in Dasya Rasa. It is not like that, all the Alvars, they were not in Dasirasa, including Ramanujacharya. Even though they were demonstrating Dasirasa, but they were not in Dasirasa. That's like Andal. Andal is actually Sri Vaishnava, one of the 12 Alvar. No? And all her prayers is actually in Sringara Rasa. Even though the Sampradaya talks about Dasirasa, but she is not in Dasirasa. So to talk about that, first of all, we should be out of this anartha in the heart. To be frank, now we have no rasa. We have rasa only for family and body. We have rasa only for that. We are trying to enjoy I and mine concept. We are not trying to please Krishna. That is actual thing. We are neither into Dasi rasa, we are not into Vachal rasa, we are still in sadhana bhakti. We are here. We are in the stage of bhajana kriya. We are simply here. Long way to go. When we are in bhajana kriya, then gradually by Krishna's mercy, anarthas goes away. Then we become nishtha. Then we come to asakti platform. Then only we come to bhava stage. Then when you come to that platform, and you'll be in the Babaji level, just like Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, and we are in Babaji level, not here. That is different platform. You won't even care about what others say about you, nothing. So somebody says like that because they don't understand this process. That's why they are saying that we are in Vasalasa. I mean, even actually this what's his name, Bhakti Vedanta, Narayana Maharaj criticized Prabhupada. He said, your Prabhupada, he taught only to be in Dasya. He does not teach you about this Raganuga Bhakti. See, Raganuga Bhakti cannot be taught. That is to be developed. As we see in Metro of Devotion here, Raganuga Bhakti is not to be taught. Nobody can teach you how to be Krishna's mother. To be Krishna's mother, you should have attachment for Krishna. It's like this, who is the devotee who stamped his own son? It happened in near Bombay, right? I forgot the devotee's name. He's a pure devotee of the Lord. He was chanting Vittal, 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 and he was stamping his own baby. He did not even look at Panduranga is the Lord, but the devotee's name I forgot. Yeah.
Prabhu, Saint Gora Kumbhar. Saint Gora Kumbhar.
Bora Tunkar.
Gora Kumbhar Prabhu. Gora Kumbhar, he was a potter.
Yeah. So we are that is, he don't even care about his child. He did not even notice his child. That is bhava. That stage, the Ramanujacharya, when he went to Delhi to take back the deity, that was stolen by a Muslim king. The princes were playing with that the deity. Then he said that the king said, "See, if you think that statue is your deity, you call him. If he comes, you take back." That was the condition given by the Muslim king. Muslim don't believe in this idol worship. For him, it is idol. For us, it deity worship. For him, it is idol worship. What is that you're calling idol as God? How can my God, Allah, be in this small statue? How it is possible? Clear. So you are saying, if you think your God is inside, you call. If he comes, you take. And he just went and said, "My dear child, you please come." Then the deity flew and then came onto his hands. He said, "My dear child." It means he's in Vatsalya Rasa. How it is possible? So this rasa is not something that we develop. That will automatically get developed based on our maturity or spiritual upliftment, gradual process. Answer, Mataji, is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, I have to explain to one Mataji in Hindi. Then I maybe need your recording again. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you for giving a nice example. Also, it will be very helpful.
Thanks, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Subramanyam Prabhu. Parasuram is also Shakti Aveshavatar. Yes. Parasuram is Shakti Aveshavatar. Correct. Anandri Mataji. Prabhu, Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva have death. You said that these are guna expansions. Now you can understand their birth and death. only Krishna is above birth and death. No, actually, even though they are avatar coming from Vishnu, all of them have different origins. Different origins, just like Vyasa. Vyasa is actually Shakti avatar. What is Jivatma? He naturally has death. And similarly, Brahma is Jivatma, he has natural death, just like us. He is also going to die. But the thing is, he is empowered by the Lord. That's why he is avatar. Avatar is different avatars are there. He is Jivatma, but he is empowered. What is the destiny of a Jivatma? He has to die and take another body. So once Brahma die, he is going to take another body. Mostly, he will go back to Godhead. Mostly, he will go back to Godhead because Brahma is very, very extraordinary. He will go back to Godhead. But Vishnu, no. Vishnu, he expanded himself from, this Vishnu is actually Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. He expanded himself from Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So he will go and merge with Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. The Shankara will merge with Sambhu. Once this destruction of this universe takes place, they'll be there until the universe is there, functions. Once the universe is going to destroy, of course, there will be so many Brahmas by now, because in one universe time, Brahma will keep on changing. But Shankara and Vishnu will not change. Brahma will change. Brahma will keep on changing now and then. But Vishnu will always remain until that universe, going to wind up. And same thing for Shankara also. So it is not that they have death. No, it is not like that. Depends upon their origin. Is it clear? Subramanyam Prabhu. Prabhu, then how is it possible that Parashuram may have arrogance and Lord Ramachandra had to break his arrogance? No, that is the mood of the avatar. No? His purpose of Parashuram's incarnation is to be in that mode. He came to destroy all Kshatriyas. And every avatar, avatar, you should understand that, 1 minute. Sir, Hare Krishna. Sorry, sir. 10 நிமிஷம் வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க. 10 நிமிஷம். பிரசாதம் கொடுங்க உங்களுக்கு. பிரசாதம். சாப்பிடுங்க 10 நிமிஷம் முடிச்சு. You see here, there is a very nice sloka from Upanishad, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate nataschamasthadhyabhikashitrishyate. It is from Shvetashvatara Upanishad, but let me see where it is to show you. This, see here, it is there. Where is it? 322. 322 Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita purport, it is there from Shvetashvatara Upanishad, 6th chapter, 8th verse. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natat samadhyabhikashitrishyate parasakti vidaiva shruyate svabhavaki jnana phalakriya cha. Okay, let us say this also. The Supreme Lord is the controller of all controllers, and he is the greatest of all the diverse planetary leaders. Everyone is under his control. All entities are delegated with particular power only by the Supreme Lord. They are not supreme themselves. He is also worshipable by all demigods, and he is the supreme director of all directors. Therefore, he is transcendental to all kind of material leaders and controllers, and is worshipped by all. There is no one greater than him, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. He does not possess a bodily form like that of an ordinary living entity. There is no difference between his body and soul. He is absolute. All his senses are transcendental. Any one of his sense can perform the actions of other sense. Therefore, no one is greater than him or equal to him. His potency is all multifarious. You see this word? And thus his deeds are automatically performed as natural sequence. You see, Parasya Shakti Vividaiva Shruyate Swabhavaki Jnana Balakriya Cha. It means is actually his potencies are multifarious. In another place, Prabhupada explained very clearly. So it means whatever we see here in this world, it is only for his happiness. He likes to fight sometimes. So he fight. He likes to embrace his devotee sometimes, embrace devotee. Just like when Hiranyakashipu, Narasimha did not take much time, he just killed him very fast. But if you see Hiranyaksha, he is not very powerful like Hiranyakashipu. But still, the Lord was fighting for a long time because he wanted to fight. So every avatar has its own humor, own way or own style. And Krishna has different way. Just like example I tell you, Ramachandra Murthy, he always controls Lakshman. Lakshman is actually Ananta, and Rama is Krishna. So whatever elder brother says, younger brother follow. That is a mood. And whatever the father says, he is going to follow. That is Ramachandra Murthy. But the same Rama, that is Krishna, when he came as Krishna, he did not follow his brother's words. A brother wanted Subhadra to marry Duryodhana. And Krishna kidnapped Subhadra. So, he did not respect that elder brother. He kidnapped. He told Arjuna, Arjuna, you kidnapped my sister. They went and conducted the marriage. And Nanda Maharaj said that, now let us worship Govardhan. Let us worship Indra. And Krishna said, why Indra? Why not Govardhan? So it's totally different. Every avatar has his own humor and style of doing things. Unique style. And similarly, Parashuram is actually in the anger mood, arrogant. That is that mood of Parashuram. In that avatar, he behaved like that only. That is how he was able to kill all the Kshatriyas. 21 times he traveled around the world and killed all the Kshatriyas. That is all his Leela. No? There is nothing to, you see, you cannot ask question why in Krishna's pastimes. You cannot ask why Krishna did like this. That's all his Leela. He likes to enjoy, sometimes you want to enjoy Madhurya, sometimes you want to enjoy Vatsalya, sometimes you want to enjoy, sometimes you want to just sleep, just like Mahavishnu, just like to sleep always. That is, you cannot ask question why, no, there's no why. That is a mood. That is the being arrogant and being, like that is the mood of Parashuram avatar. Clear? Okay, fine. So, I think no other question. Let us stop the session here. Thank you very much for everyone who has come for this session. So we'll have next week as well. Yeah. Gandhar Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nidai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam, all glories to the Lord.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Dhanat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Glories to you, blessed to Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.